Women's hockey player Courtney Colarullo is one of 6 nationwide Division I female athletes to join UScellular's Life in Us mode to spark meaningful discussions and drive awareness about the importance of maintaining a healthy balance between online and real-life connections, especially among female athletes. She explained why keeping the balance is important in her life.
It's just so important what you surround yourself and consume yourself with in regards to social media, and I think like you said, that can have a real effect on your mental health. And so just putting out really positive messages and just trying to influence other people in a positive way, I think can just really help everything overall.
Colarullo and the Black Bears are going to Northeastern this weekend to take on the Huskies.